This is a Dragon Blazer production. This is a Dragon Blazer production.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Drunk Like Me, a Dead Like Me rewatch podcast. I'm your host, Steven, and we have, of course, Drunk Summer, or Sober Summer, or Drinking Summer.
Hi, Drinking Summer.
Drinking Summer, that's correct.
Yes.
All right, so, couple things. First off, let's just bring up the fact that it's been a little while since we recorded, about a month or two.
Yeah.
That's because life sucks.
Yeah.
Summer had to move, so she was a little on the busy side.
Super busy. Not
Apparently,
only did I have to move me, but I had to move my two best friends to Delaware.
Oh, so yes, so Summer decided that moving and finding a home was more important than doing this podcast. That's essentially what it boils down to.
Just a little.
I gotta have a house and a home. Okay.
Whatever. You know.
I suppose that's important.
A little bit.
Just a bit. So first things I want to talk about before we get into this episode, and the episode that we did watch was Reaper Madness, but we got an iTunes review. And I would like to just read that on air. Not surprising, but somebody likes Drunk Summer.
Wow. Somebody.
Another thing I should bring up before I read this review, we got a new logo.
Yes, we did.
Yes,
and I had boobs.
My son, yes, you have boobs now. And my son drew me a logo, and us, a logo for Drunk Like Me. And I really love it. It's way better than whatever I did many years ago. We don't need to talk about that. But many years ago, I say when this is only like a year old. A little over a year now. So we got a 5-star review.
Hey.
This was right after we recorded last. So this was recorded on July 29th, 2021 by a guy that I must say that I like the name here, Houday98.
Oh, jeez.
Clearly a Bengals fan, Houday.
Right.
And Houday98 says, "This rewatch makes me want to watch the show. These guys are hilarious, and Drunk Summer is the girl of my dreams. Heart eye emoji face."
Yes.
You are Houday98's girl of his dream. Only when you're drunk, though. When you're sober, Summer, he's not about that life.
Thank you, Houday98. I appreciate it. I am, and unfortunately the girl of a lot of people's dreams and some nightmares too. So
Right,
keep
right.
keep keep supporting the Bengals because that's the only win you're gonna get.
I'm pretty sure I've had dreams and nightmares about you, so I understand Who Day 98.
I get it.
Specifically drunk summer too.
Good
All
times.
right. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about before we get into this episode?
Um, hmm,
Any quick rants before we rant?
I don't know. I've kind of like all I've been doing is working and taking care of the kids and moving. So like I don't really have time to find things to rant about.
Oh, you always find things to rant about. Wait till we
I
get further.
know. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get into episode 7 of the first season of Dead Like Me. Uh, Reaping Madness. So the first scene we get is George talking about a war with her brain cells,
Mhm.
and is it the new mentor to a girl named Fiona.
Oh my God, Fiona.
Fiona.
I feel like Fiona is literally every person that I've ever had to train for a job.
In fairness I mean, do we want to talk about the entire Fiona situation, or wait till we get
I,
further on?
I don't care.
All right. Well, this isn't a really big part of the thing, but George kind of dug her own grave when it comes to Fiona,
Oh yeah,
training her and just saying, you got to do this, but it literally means fucking nothing,
nothing, nothing at all.
which
The
we've all
girl's like,
done.
we right. She's like, I seriously, every time I train someone, I tell them, this is what I do. This is how you're supposed to do it.
Well,
Because
she kind
how
of
you're
did that. She showed her what to
right,
do properly and
right.
then was like, "Huh, but it doesn't mean
Hmm.
shit. And nobody ever checks this."
Literally every job I've ever had.
And then then George doesn't even really yell at her because she starts to get proud. Like,
Yeah.
I did this. This is
Right. And
this
then
is
she's
my
like,
doing.
then she's going to steal the pens. And she's like, no, the good
Yeah,
pens are on the top shelf.
like the good ones are on top.
Yeah. I was like, that's me for sure.
So right after we get her mentor situation, George spies on Reggie.
Yeah.
Watches Reggie and with her little toilet seat tree, and
How has like the city not taken that down? You know what I mean?
um,
Like
I don't
in
know.
the real world, world, the city would have found that tree and been like, this is a health code violation of some sort, you know?
I don't
You
think
can't just
any of
have
these toilet seats have been cleaned. There's still ass on there.
that would be funny though, just to see her going around and cleaning all the toilet seats.
Yeah,
Like
right.
that would be hilarious.
The ideal situation is she cleaned them before putting them up there.
Let's hope so.
Let us let us hope. So that goes into something, but we'll get onto that later. Then we meet Ronnie. So what are your thoughts on Ronnie?
I loved Ronnie.
Yeah.
Like I was really hoping to see more Ronnie.
Well, we see a lot of them in this episode, but probably no more after this.
Right. Like I was hoping he was going to be able to stay around because I was like super stoked. Like, oh, it's not his time. I'm like, heck yeah, maybe he's going to be a new character, you know? But
See, when I first
no.
so when we get to the next part, which is so pretty much Mason, um, he reaps the window washer, and then before George reaps Ronnie, she gets Rube calls and tells her
Mhm.
that we need you now, and tells
Right.
her that it is a clerical error that
Yeah.
Ronnie is not supposed to die yet.
How do you
Which
have a clerical error in death? Like, Be like, ah, man, we just flipped these numbers around. Like, how does that happen? Is that what near-death experiences are?
Uh,
Like, people almost died
maybe
and they're like,
clerical
oh,
errors,
fuck,
perhaps.
today's not the day.
Right?
Yeah.
No, I mean, yeah. I thought for sure that because of the clerical error, that this was going to be another episode of George being like, I just found a fucking loophole and I am going to try to exploit this. And
Yep,
no,
me
it
too.
is not. In fact, I feel like Rube was a little harsh on George. And maybe
Yes.
that's because we see things from her perspective. And we know for a fact that, and I guess we should wait till we get into that, but she didn't do, I mean, I guess, well, she does let him into her house. So there's that. But, you know, so.
Yeah, she also drugs him. So, I mean,
But
that's a little.
to help him sleep. We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Right.
So then we get Ronnie talking to his therapist, I would imagine, a psychologist. I believe it's psychologist or psychiatrist that prescribes pills. There's a difference. That's the difference between a psychologist and a psychiatrist. I have recently found out.
I think the psychiatrist is the one that does pills.
Okay. So talking to the psychiatrist, and Ronnie just watches a graveling climb up the window and then watches a window washer fall down to his death. And Ronnie's like, well, that fucking happened. Whatever. He did not give a fuck.
Nope.
He was like, well, that sucks for him.
Right. He was just like, knew it was going to happen. It's fine.
Yeah. Saw the graveling, saw the guy go up and saw him go down. And he just sits there like, what if that was real? Or maybe that's what it was. Maybe he didn't know it was real.
Maybe that could be because he's schizophrenic, right?
Yeah, he had some kind of mental issues. So then we got George as the role model, which we already kind of discussed. After that, we get Joyce sucks at being the tooth fairy. Just give him a fucking quarter.
As a mom, though, that would have broken my heart too, though, as a mom.
You know, that I guess, yeah, I agree. That would break my heart as well. But, you know, you could have put that message there with a quarter.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't, 5 cents. I mean, she's a little kid. She'd be happy with any kind of round object that's money.
She said even candy.
Or candy. She would have been happy with the Twizzler down there. I mean, put a Twizzler with your little note. And, you know, then I'm sorry, but you're not doing very good job as the Tooth Fairy, Joy. I'm just saying. I mean, I guess it's a cute gesture. But when you're talking to kids,
kids are like, I don't care. Candy. I want, candy, money, V-Bucks.
She's lucky she could read at that age. I don't know. Kidding. She wasn't that young. But, you know, they're kids. They're kids. Give them some candy or a quarter. I mean, I'm not even telling you. Are you
wearing a Princess Bride shirt? Not to interrupt, but are you wearing a Princess Bride shirt?
I am. I'm wearing a Princess Bride with Inigo Montoya, Fezzik, and crap. What is Wallace Shawn's character's name? Inconceivable. I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't think of his name. That's the first thing that came to my mind. That was inconceivable.
I mean, I clearly, obviously, this is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Perfect time. I love the Princess Bride.
Me
was
too.
Like, yeah, I'm gonna wear that today.
Heck yeah.
So yeah, Princess Bride. Woo! Greatest love story / action film ever told. I don't know about that.
Right?
I don't know if I want to go that far, but it's a great movie. I love that movie.
It is a great
movie. It's a fun movie. Fun movie. So then we get George, well, not George as so much as Ronnie trying to flirt, and George not being good at flirting or recognizing flirting. This felt like me.
And I was
at
gonna say
flirting.
that I was gonna say that when we talked about it because I was like, it's just like watching you flirt with someone.
That bad. How many times have you witnessed me flirting other than to you?
Just a few.
Just a few.
Sometimes I have outer body experiences and I'm like, oh God, is he really saying this to me right now?
Oh, is that it? So you're just judging all the times that I have terribly. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And then we get shovel killing.
Oh my
Dude on a
God.
bike just getting whacked in the head with a shovel.
Yeah.
Death number 2.
I want to go back to that part though, because he tells George that the guy on the ladder is about to die. Like he tells her, you know, I can see these things. That guy is gonna die.
Yeah, he says he can see death. However, what he sees is gravelings, and he doesn't understand.
Yeah.
But it's
Right.
clear that he can actually see them, which I think we've kind of established that until this kid, I think either every other Reapers ignore the gravelings, but I think George is the only one that sees the gravelings.
Yeah, I think so too.
At least the way they establish it on the show is it seems like she's the only one that pays attention to them. If anybody else can see them, they're not indicating that they can't.
Yeah,
they knew
and
what
it
they
might
were.
just be, maybe it's just because she's new too.
It could
And
be.
like she's still like getting used to these little demonic things crawling around people that are about to die.
I mean, that's very possible. But yeah, I don't know. To me, because they knew what they were, because Rube, I think, explains to her. I mean, he's the one that named them Bravely.
Right.
But I feel like none of the other people have even paid any attention to them, which leads me to believe she's the only one that can actually see them. Which I can't remember, but I'm wondering if that comes up. The fact that she's
I'm curious.
I can't remember if that's a plot point or not. It's been a long time since I've watched this show. I love this show, but it's been a while. So anything else you want to talk about with the guy dying and they're flirting ish?
No, I don't think so.
So did you support this relationship?
I did. 110%. I was shipping it.
Despite the fact that this dude is straight up stalking her. I mean, it's not even, I guess we can kind of forgive it a little bit because he's clearly got mental issues, but there's no doubt about it. This dude stalks the shit out of George through the whole episode. I mean, there's no hidden, I mean, I guess one could consider it romantic, but he stalks her. He meets her at her house.
You gotta love his dedication.
Sure. I wonder if most stalkers get that kind of, I know that he keeps staring at me across the bushes across the way while I'm in the window changing my bra. But, I just gotta appreciate that man's dedication. I guess he doesn't go that creepy, but.
Right. Like, I've appreciated some of my stalkers in the past.
Oh, fair enough.
I used to have this guy that like would come into IHOP. I think I told you about this, but every Friday night he'd come into IHOP and he'd leave me like $100 tip, and then he like memorized my schedule, and he would come back when I was getting off, and he would always bring me like flowers or chocolate. And this last time he came, he was like, I got off work like half an hour early, and he came in and he lost his shit. And he like ripped the flowers off the stems and threw them everywhere and like dumped all the chocolates all over the place. And it was crazy. But like, I appreciated those $100 tips and the dedication.
Well, I'm sure you did. It's a lot easier to accept stalkers when they're giving $100 every time they come stalk.
Yeah. Like when he first brought me chocolate, because we talked about like what my favorite things were. Just, you know how I am with people. I'm just like, yeah, that's cool.
When you're a
I
server,
like this.
you talk. It's just
Right. So he brought me my favorite flowers multiple times. And I'm not talking like just a dozen of them. There were like 4 dozen of these flowers. And I'm just like, okay. So yeah, it was crazy. And like I should have seen that coming. But at the same time, like I appreciated that dedication because nobody else was buying me flowers and chocolate or giving me $100 every week.
I hope you're not giving a bunch of our listeners, ideas here. Like, if I just give her $100, she doesn't mind the creepiness.
I'll post my Cash App in the message in the comments.
Yeah. So I suppose we should move on, maybe.
Probably.
All right. So then we get Reggie checks out her box that George leaves for her,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of loved this whole storyline.
Me too.
She gets like a bunch of notes and saying, don't be afraid to do things and stuff like that.
She's
And
trying to encourage her little sister.
yeah. Then we get Joy and can't remember her husband's name, the cheater, talking about which what sucks. This dude is a douche and a cheater, and I don't want to give him a pass because of Joy's attitude, but he's definitely a lot more. He doesn't seem to be as involved, but he does care about what's best for Reggie.
Yeah.
Where Joy is extremely strict, he at least, hey, you know what? She just lost her sister.
Right.
And I'd give him more of a pass with the whole cheating thing, which I guess we haven't really hit that yet. But I mean, it was definitely implied.
Oh yeah.
In the first episode. But that cheating situation happened before George died. So, I can't really give him a pass that he's trying to act out in his own way because of her death. He was already cheating.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, anyways. So then we get Ronnie showing up at George's house, George's door. George has a stalker. And then George goes,
I said he's full blown stalker
full-blown
mode.
stalker. And then I believe they teach you this in Stalker 101. Don't let your stalker into your house and sit there on the couch with them watching shows. But nope, that's what George does.
They were listening to music videos.
Music videos. Sure. And then she goes on a date with her stalker. So
those are some of the best dates though. Like just vibing to music with some creepy guy you just met. Hell yeah. How do you think I got into my current relationship?
Well, stalkers, you have a chance.
Who Day 98?
Huh? Who Day 98? We have one person that likes us and gives us a review. Let's not call him a stalker, okay? Let's not bash our one review. Like we get a review.
Pops back
hey,
up.
Stalker. Huh?
Hey, stalker.
Hey, stalker.
That's great.
Oh geez.
Anyway.
So yeah, they vibe and he talks a little bit more about death and she tries to kind of throw it away and be like, no, it's not a big deal.
Yeah. She's like, I can too. It's fine.
Yeah, and then she gets him some drugs. She's like, well, I do know someone who probably has a lot of narcotics. Let me just give him a call on the phone.
I love the fact that he pulls up in this freaking freezer quart bag of different pills. I love it.
She knew, and he was right there for her. I love Mason.
He's one of the best kinds of friends to have.
One with a lot of drugs. Okay. I feel like we're giving the wrong message in this episode. It's cool to stalk. You gotta have a friend that has all the drugs.
No, he's always there for her no matter what she needs. Is more what I was trying to imply.
You say this. Yay, baby. What's next? I just want a guy that kills for me, okay? Is that next? Is that the next lesson we're learning here, Drunk Summer?
Depends on who's on the list, I guess.
So then we get George going to work and at the Waffle House, and the stalker is there. I mean, really stalking the shit out of her.
Yeah, he's not smooth at stalking at all.
No.
He's just
he's staring right at him, where George didn't even notice him, and everybody else is like, so does anybody know this guy? Because he is not hiding the fact that he is.
No, not at all.
And then Rube talks to her as him. Rube talks to him.
Oh my gosh.
As George's doctor.
Yeah.
Which I thought that was a clever way to go with that.
Yeah, but that like reminded me of like teenage summer when my grandpa found out that I had my first boyfriend, and he like found this kid and was like, listen. And he basically like told him that I was nothing but trouble and he should want nothing to do with me.
Pretty much what Rube does.
Yeah. So good like PTSD moment there.
Yeah, I mean, when Rube first talked to her about the whole thing, because he really blames her for the which I think we kind of skipped that. We kind of talked about it earlier, but when he stalks her at the park, which I don't know if he was stalking her, or I wasn't entirely sure if he knew she was there and that's why he was at the park, or if he was at the park and just happened to be in the same place as her.
I don't know.
I don't know. It could go either way. He definitely stalks her later, but I don't know. I don't know if it's explicit that he stalked her at the park.
Right.
But yeah, Rube keeps.
That was an accidental stalking.
Accidental stalking. I just think that's what started the stalking.
Maybe.
But yeah, Rube's eating candy and telling her that she's sloppy, and at least in that aspect, I did not think that she was sloppy. I don't think.
Me neither.
And
I think he just assumed that she told him about the like gremlins or whatever.
Yeah, no, I think he's trying to say, well, you shouldn't be somewhere where there's a person that just saw you before in another area. Is what he's saying was sloppy, but I don't think she realized he was there, and then she was just kind of off her game because she's not used to being flirted with, and and she still did her job. She managed to get that soul right before he got whacked in the head with a shovel.
Mm-hmm. And the dude was on a bike.
The dude was on a bike.
She had to be like on her game.
Thank God the dude was Asian, because she was like, she couldn't figure out who the person was. And luckily this Asian dude on a bike with a very Asian name comes riding by. It's like, well, it's got to be this one. Hopefully there's no other Asians around here.
What if it would have just been an American that married an Asian and had an Asian last name?
It was a woman who just happened to be married to it. That would suck. Man, reaping's got to be hard as fuck.
Yeah, they just give you a post-it note. They need to give you like a whole detailed bio.
Right? A little bit of a description, maybe?
Right.
A picture would be lovely.
For sure.
I'm not always good at recognizing someone from a picture, but it's still a hell of a lot better than first initial last name. Then you gotta have awkward conversation shit.
Mm-hmm.
So after George's stalker stalks her, and Rube talks to her, and I think Rube was a little softer this time. I think Rube started realizing, okay, this guy is the stalker. She can only do so much. I think he finally realized that. Reggie gets to ride a horse that she does not like. We find out. Then we get Daisy talking to George afterwards, and she steals a car with her boobs.
I mean, if that's one way to do it. And she's like, "Oh, I love your car," and he's like, "Oh, I love your breast." Like, cool.
Do you think she was gonna steal that car until he made that comment?
I think she fully intended to steal the car.
So it wasn't the comment that he's like, okay, this guy is. Although, you know what? Not
She's
saying
a
that it's
whore.
okay to make that comment, but she literally just flashed her breast to some random person. I mean, in fairness.
And this whole episode, she was just talking about how she gave head to so and so and jerked off so and so. So I don't
gave
think
head to Clark Gable.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did. She definitely uses her womanly ways and to get what she wants.
For sure.
But
don't we all though?
I don't use my womanly ways.
Oh, come on.
They just crash when I try that anyway. But I'm just saying that this guy's not that much of a creep, because what kind of response do you expect if you're gonna flash your boobs to some random person you don't know?
Right.
So I feel like we can give this guy a pass. She was kind of a bitch.
Yeah, totally.
And I don't think well, I'm hoping this guy is like super rich, so losing a car over seeing some boobs is not too big of a deal. Because if this guy just used all of his fucking money just to buy this car, and he lost his car just because he got to see some boobs, that's not a great trade-off.
No, not at all.
I mean, boobs are great, don't get me wrong, but...
Yeah, but she doesn't even look like she has big boobs.
No, like, they're probably...
she's got like A, B cup. I think that's about it.
I mean, yeah, but we're not super picky sometimes. We're seeing
Good
boobs.
point.
We're seeing boobs. We can have preferences, but I don't think we're gonna be like, well, those aren't big enough. Drive on by.
That's only a B.
Yeah, it's only a B. Come back with me when they grow. Here's a couple magic beans. Grow that shit. Jack and the Beanstalk.
Jane and the giant beans. Or boobs, I guess.
There probably is a porno like that, actually.
Oh my god, there probably is.
There definitely is. I'm sure there is. That's
all I can think about now. She like spits on it and she's like, "Yes, Jack, grow your beanstalk."
Tell your stalker to go see if this is a real thing. I do a search. He'll be fine. Anyways, on with the show.
Right.
So yeah, Reggie doesn't. Huh?
I said, yeah, that.
Yeah, that. So Reggie doesn't want to do horseback riding. She didn't like it. She wants drums instead.
Right.
Who doesn't want
we
a
need
drum
to go
set?
back. We need to go back to the horseback riding thing though, because did you see where the dad touched the mom's leg?
Oh.
I feel like that's a big deal. I feel like that's a big deal because they like haven't been intimate in a while.
He literally didn't want to go to the bathroom while she was in the shower or the bathtub that one time. So that is kind of a big deal for him. Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Bit of a big deal. We'll see how that plays off.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, she gets a drum set, and then comes the big scene. George goes to a wedding, and she gets her first. She says her first kiss after dying, but I don't think she ever got kissed before. Did she ever mention getting kissed before?
No,
I mean, I think we have. I think that was her first kiss, like
I think so too.
romantically kissed,
Right.
obviously. But I
Right.
think that was her first kiss. Um, Definitely her first kiss on the show,
Mm-hmm.
and her first kiss after being dead. And so when she got kissed, and he, holy shit, jumps up on the pew and was like, "Everybody get out! You're all gonna die." So what did you think about that?
Yeah. Well, a couple different things. At first, I was like, okay, he's like making her job a whole hell of a lot harder than it needs to be right now. That
Right?
was thought number one. Thought number two was he's gonna fall off here and die, and that's when she's gonna like. Actually, I kind of thought that Rube was gonna be the one
You know, I
to
thought,
do it.
did you like? I forgot what his last name was, so I didn't right away think that he was the one that was gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I saw the post-it note, I forgot what his last name was. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I just remembered his first name was Ronnie.
Yeah.
So I thought that she was like Rube was legit pissed off at her and was gonna take over her reap.
Yeah.
And then no, I was wrong because he was her post-it.
Mm-hmm.
Although I'm kind
Yeah.
of surprised he gave her his post-it. With all the shit she's pulled, like
Mm-hmm.
you know that she has some kind of weird ass stalker relationship with this kid. Why would
Mm-hmm.
you be like, I want you to reap him now? Like that would
Right.
be rough for anyone. And the way she's
Yeah.
handled things before, maybe she's just finally starting to get comfortable with being reaped. But I think even if you were comfortable with
Mm-hmm.
reaping now, to reap the guy that literally just gave you your first kiss, that would be rough for anyone.
I think so. Unless you're into like some weird like sexual murder thing.
That was, yeah, more learnings from Drunk Summer. Stalking, cool. Sexual murder. Are you into sexual murder? Sexual murder.
Oh my goodness.
No. Okay, so all the rest of the world, it would be really fucking hard to, and then kiss. She gives him one last kiss and then
Mm-hmm.
reaps him.
Yeah.
So that was kind of surprising. I mean, is that growth? I feel like, is that reaping growth?
I
And
mean,
then she
it's not
kind of
like
just tells him the truth before she reaps him. Like,
yeah,
no,
I
I'm
liked
not.
that part though.
Yeah. Well, she knows he's about to die.
Right.
So,
But that's what I liked about it. I liked that she was like he didn't she didn't reap him without him knowing what was going on. Like I think that he had that moment of clarity after she did it. And he was
yeah.
just like, okay, cool. Yep, this is what's gonna happen. And I honestly thought that whole scene was gonna go a whole lot different. Like I thought that it was gonna be like some school shooter type thing when they all had to be there, like
Right.
all the Grim Reapers. I was like, why? So
Yeah,
it's interesting.
there's a couple thoughts I had. One, I did like how she kind of got taken aback by him saying a beautiful death, called her a beautiful death. Of course, death would take the form of a beautiful woman. And she's like, well, I'm
Yeah.
not going to let that stop me here. And he's like, no, I'm not really death. She's like, well, Rube, your doctor, is that death? No, that's like middle management. But,
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
you're going to have to go a little bit farther than Idaho. Because, yeah,
It
but
was pretty funny.
it was wild. And the thing that I was thinking about, which I found weird, is the fact that I found it weird that the Graveling, like how he dies, completely involves him being able to see the Graveling.
Mm-hmm.
Like it wasn't the Graveling having some trick happen. The Graveling literally kind of pushes him off or scares
Mm-hmm.
him enough where he falls. So
That's what I thought too.
it was kind of weird because it was all hinged on the fact that he could see the Gravelings.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just happens to kill the bride and groom too. That's gotta be a shitty wedding. And then you know that that means that the parents are stuck paying for a wedding of
Wedding and a funeral.
their kids. Yeah, there's a movie called that. Is it Four Weddings and
No,
a
it's
Funeral?
3 weddings.
Is
and
it Three
funeral.
Weddings and a Funeral?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is literally a wedding. Well, I guess the funeral doesn't happen at the wedding. It just causes a funeral that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Also, the other thing I thought of, would that fall really kill all three of them?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. This was kind of a shitty death, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I feel like it could have killed him, although part of me wonders if landing on them would break his fall.
Right. That's what I thought.
But I don't see how it killed them unless he just hit very sensitive spots or something on both of them.
Right.
And it wasn't that far of a drop. So that was one thing that I did think about that was kind of weird, is that I don't feel like maybe one of them, I don't feel like that should have killed all of them.
Yeah. I agree.
And part of me felt like that they should have broke his fall and he should have lived.
Yep.
But it's what it is. I guess that landing on someone is enough to kill him.
Depends on how big you are.
He wasn't that big.
No,
He
not at all.
was kind of a scrawny thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I felt that kind of weird that they all three died, but
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I don't think that. I think the story was about his crush with George and not their deaths. So I'm trying not to get too far into it, but
Stop digging.
Huh?
It said stop digging.
Hey, what's the point of having a podcast if we don't think about this kind of shit?
Good point.
Exactly. We got to talk about the stalkers that you like and the people with death fetishes. That's the whole point, right?
Absolutely.
Sure. And I think we've established that you're more fucked up than me. I'm just throwing that out there. I think we're just establishing who the messed up person here is.
I feel like my therapist would agree.
My therapist would disagree.
You're just better at hiding it.
Fair enough. And then we end the episode with George getting a thank you for the whole drums. And then George giving it to the mom, giving it to Joy, saying, "I love you." I thought that was sweet. That was despite how we feel about Joy, that was sweet. It was really
That was very sweet.
So that's sweet shit.
Yeah.
So that's the episode. So what did you think about Reaping Madness?
I liked it. I feel like it was kind of just a filler episode though, because we didn't really get to see much in ways of like the romantic interest and stuff like that, which I feel like they could have developed that a little more before she had to reap him, if that makes sense.
What you're saying is you would have preferred this to be more of a multiple arc in the show.
Yeah.
Okay. I can understand that. Do you think the Reaping Madness makes sense?
Oh, for sure.
For sure? You like that name? Okay,
Yeah.
I was just curious.
I do, yeah.
So what was your favorite death? We know that you fantasize and romanticize death. So what was which death turned you on?
Well, I
Well,
don't know.
so we
Like,
only got technically we got 5 deaths if you count all 3 of them dying at
oh,
the wedding.
yeah.
But then we got the wedding death, which I think definitely isn't my favorite because I still question whether that was now falling off of a window. That guy definitely dead. I even question whether getting hit in the head with a shovel is enough to kill you.
I don't think getting hit in the head with a shovel is enough to kill you.
I think if you hit someone, if the way you get hit is just right in a certain point of your, I'm pretty sure that could kill you. It's a lot more plausible than falling off of a balcony that's not that high,
right,
and landing on 2 people.
I don't feel like they were like swinging that shovel hard enough to kill somebody, though. You know what I mean?
I agree with you. So what you're saying is windowsill guy.
Oh, for sure.
The only one that definitely died.
Yeah.
I mean, when it's your time, it's your time. But I question some of these deaths. They've had some really interesting deaths, and definitely did not question whether they died. But this one I questioned. I did question. I did like this episode though. I thought George finding someone that's trying to terribly flirt with her was very sweet. I liked it.
It was.
It was. Who is your favorite character in this episode?
Probably Ronnie.
Is that our first non-Reaper?
Yeah.
I think that's I don't know. We might have said Reggie once.
Maybe. I don't know.
Excuse me. But I agree. I think Ronnie was probably my favorite character of the episode. Least favorite. Who is your least favorite character of this episode?
Oh, whatever her name is, the new girl.
Oh,
I can't remember her name.
Her trainee.
No, the new Reaper.
Daisy O'Dea. You just did not support that whole stealing a car with your boobs, huh?
No, I mean, sure, but I just don't like the way she acts.
Girl power.
She's too whorish for me.
She's just a little too whorish. Just a tad bit too much whoreness. Fair enough. She's funny though. I find her entertaining, so I don't know if I can bring her as my least favorite because she is that entertaining. Another weird thing. This is our 3rd episode in a row. No Roxy.
That's what I was gonna say.
Like
next.
Roxy's not even there anymore.
Yep.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got no Roxy in this episode again. She hasn't been in the last 2 episodes.
Yep. It kind of makes me want to Google.
Huh?
It kind of makes me want to Google why she's not in there.
Not sure. Just didn't have a story for her, maybe, or maybe she had some kind of prior. But that's weird to have a character missing for that much this early. Like we're only on episode 7. 3 episodes she's not there.
Maybe she accidentally hit someone with her car.
I mean, perhaps, you never know. Actually, we probably could know. We know the other one because we Googled it, but
we Googled it.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. I just thought it was weird and didn't get Roxy again. My least favorite character. This is a tough one. I feel like every character that was in the episode had their moment. We didn't get to see much of Dolores Herbig, or her big brown eyes.
Her big brown eyes.
I think I'm gonna go with the her mentor, her trainee. She was annoying. She kind of I mean,
Like when she started to undo her pants to show her the flowers.
yeah, I know. Yeah, let me show you my flowers. Look at the flowers. Yeah, that
Reminds
was
me of The Walking Dead.
right. I think she might have died again if she would have seen it. I mean, George is already a little awkward around things like that. So who the hell thinks it's a good idea to go to your brand new job and like, let me pull down my pants so you can see my tattoos? Maybe wait till at least a week before you do that.
First office party, at least.
First office party. Wait till you have alcoholism as an excuse before you start pulling down your pants at work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't support. Didn't like her. That scene would have been 10 times different if her mentor was a dude. Just saying.
Yep.
And she might have out-whored Daisy O'Dare.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, I guess she was just trying to show off her flowers.
Flowers.
Her pussy willows.
Pussy willows. Oh my god.
I don't know. They didn't say what flowers they were.
Her hidden tulip.
I'm
That
on
was
my
a good
mind.
one.
But yeah, I thought it was a pretty decent episode. Confused, where's Roxy? But I guess it could be just
Right.
as simple as Roxy's not needed for the stories they've told so far.
Yeah.
And maybe they just wanted. I mean, you could just argue that they didn't bring Roxy mainly because they wanted to keep the focus off of Betty's death or Betty's jump. And then the last two episodes might be we didn't want to have Roxy take away from Daisy O'Dare.
Yeah.
And you keep Mason there because Mason you get some great scenes with Daisy shutting down Mason in both episodes.
Yeah. That is beautiful.
It's beautiful. That's my favorite part about Daisy. Like she's such a whore. She's such a slut. And then she's just like, not Mason. I ain't going down that route. Not that being a slut is a bad thing. Let's just throw that out there. We're not trying to slut shame anyone. But call a spade when it comes to Daisy O'Dare.
We're pro stalkers.
We're pro
drug dealers.
Pro drug dealers.
Sluts.
Pro sluts.
We have a great fan base.
And
so what a great fan base.
Yeah, we're gonna get a select group of people to listen to this podcast. Well, they are pro stalkers. Pro death fetishes. Probably the most fucked up one. It's just say.
Pretty funny though.
Yeah, pretty funny.
I said it's pretty funny. Yeah.
It's funny, right? Funny, right?
Funny,
right.
Fucked up, both the F words.
Cool. All right.
It's always funny to me. Hold on. It's always funny to me that you type just like you talk. Because the other day you messaged me something and then you were like, okay, cool. And I was like,
yeah, I gotta get that. I mean, I can't really take full claim over that. That's just a thing off of Brooklyn Nine-Nine I love. So I think I even gift that to you.
Yep.
I did. Cool. No doubt.
Cool. No doubt.
Yeah. By the way, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, funny ass show. It just ended. Go watch it. It's hilarious. Andy Samberg is hilarious. No, don't. Andy's a funny dude. You don't like
We're
Andy
gonna have
Samberg?
to we're gonna have to agree to disagree on that one.
Oh, come on. You don't like The Lonely Island?
No.
You never rocked out on Mother Lover?
No.
Dick in a Box?
I'll never forget that, but I was never into it.
The Golden Rule? It's not gay when it's in a three-way, baby. Tell your stalker that.
Tell my stalker that. You'll be like, hey man, it's not gay
Hi,
when it's in
Colin.
a three-way.
Not gay when it's in a three-way. I mean, it's the Golden Rule, man.
Oh my god.
I love The Lonely Island. I think Andy Samberg's hilarious. I don't
He
understand.
is hilarious. Sometimes. I just don't like his character, I guess.
What do you mean, his character?
For me, I just feel like that whole show is dry humor. Like it just doesn't do it for me.
Really? You didn't like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, huh?
No.
I love Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I tried really hard to like it because Colin loves it. Like he probably jerks off to it. He loves it so much. So like I tried to like it, but it just wasn't working.
I love Brooklyn. I love Andy Samberg in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I love the captain, the gay captain.
The captain is my favorite. I will tell you that much.
He's great. I love when he's trying to sound cool and he doesn't know how to be cool because he's just
story of my life.
And then Rosa is fantastic. I love Rosa. She's my spirit animal. So anyways, now next is the Brooklyn Nine-Nine podcast.
Oh god.
I thought the ending was fantastic. Not that I don't want to give any spoilers, but I thought they picked the perfect type of episode to end it with.
Yeah, for sure.
It was good. It was good. So is there anything else we want to talk about with Dead Like Me?
No.
No.
I'm excited. Okay, I did kind of peek ahead to see what was going to happen in the next episode. So I just read synopsis? Is that what it's called?
Of the synopsis, yeah.
Synopsis.
The description.
Anyway. So like, I'm kind of excited to see that one.
Really?
I'm excited
what was the
to
synopsis?
See what happens. Rube becomes the cook at the diner.
Oh, I remember that. Oh, yeah.
I'm excited about that one.
Yep.
That's all you can say because of spoilers.
Huh?
I said that's all you can say because of spoilers. Yep.
Yep. I think I even remember why he becomes the cook. I think it is pretty good. Huh?
I'm excited for it.
Yeah, that will be fun. I'm looking forward to it too now. All right. Well,
at least we have something to look forward to.
That's right. Hopefully we can get back into routine of these. So that will be exciting. It might be more Zoom calls, which, I mean, you get to see Drunk Summer's lovely face for all you stalkers out there. So, woohoo!
And my grandma sweater.
Your grandma
nice. My Otherworld shirt.
Oh, yeah.
And the giant bags under my eyes from having children.
I mean, yeah, they can do that.
Yeah.
It's been nice. My son, he's 3, and half the time he doesn't want me ever. He always wants his brother or his sister. He never wants me, except at night when he realizes he's alone in his bedroom. Actually, he's not even alone. He sleeps in the same bedroom as his sister, and instead of crawling to her, he comes into my bedroom. He wants to sleep with Daddy.
Oh,
I love it.
Sweet.
It is sweet.
Yeah, today I was taking the kids home and they get very upset when it's time to go home. They don't want to go home. They want to stay with me, which I get. So my Little girl didn't say a word to me the whole way home. It's an hour drive. And then we get to her house and she doesn't want to let go of me. And I'm like,
oh. Yeah, I wish I could have the same opinion on that one. With I brought Remy home, my son home, and he gave my son a hug, and then he's like, "No." I was like, "Are you gonna give Daddy a hug?" Mm-mm. Bye. Like, bye, I love you. He's like, bye. I got no hug. I am hugless at the end of the day.
So sorry.
But at least he wanted to sleep with me. So there's that.
Yeah, there's that.
He got scared. He gets scared in his bedroom. Which I don't like that he's scared, don't get me wrong. But the fact that, this kid never wants to be with, sometimes I don't get hugs. Sometimes I do. But most of the time he wants his siblings. It was nice that he wants me at night. So the only time
it's hard being a parent.
Yeah.
Do not recommend.
Don't recommend. Another service announcement from Summer. Like Stalkers, cool. Drug dealers, we love that. Don't be a parent. Don't be a parent. That's where we draw the line.
No parents.
No parents. We want to end this world. No more. It's like Children of Men out in this shit. That's right? That's the movie where nobody could have kids, right?
I think so.
I think that was it. I don't know. It was a good movie if I remember right.
It's a good book.
Good book. I didn't read the book, but I watched the movie. The movie was good.
You kids these days.
I used to read all the time. I used to love to read. I even read Twilight because I used to read so much. And my sister, who don't read shit, actually read Twilight. And I'm like, well, my sister actually read this. I guess I'll give it a shot. I even read 3 of them. And I was like, what the fuck am I reading? Why am I still reading this shit? Then I watched the movie and got upset. Not because I liked the book, but the movie made it dumber.
I read the first chapter of the first book and I was like, no, never mind.
I got so damn annoyed with the freaking movie after reading the book. Because I was like, because in the movie, Edward's like, you want to know why I'm a vampire or why I can't be in the daytime? Sparkles! In the book, she begs him through the whole damn book. Why can't you be in sunlight? Why can't you do this? Why can't you do this? She's very curious in the book. In the movie, she don't give a fuck. And
well, it's Kristen Stewart. What do you expect?
Yeah,
she only knows one emotion.
Yeah. Yeah, she does not give a fuck. And he's like, you want to know why? No, I didn't ask you shit. Well, let me show you. Sparkles! But anyways, I mean, the book's not really that good either, but I still had to complain that the movie did some dumbass shit. I don't know why I watched it. I don't know why I read it. Oh, I know why I read it. I read it because my sister was into it. And sometimes I feel like it's good to watch things that you don't like so you have a proper understanding of why you don't like it. It's not just simply, this shit is stupid because everybody says Twilight is stupid. No, I watched it and I can tell you specifically why this fucking shit is stupid.
That's why I watch CNN and then do my research.
Know your enemy, okay? That's the lesson to learn, is know what you don't like. Because it's stupid.
The more you know.
The more you know. Star. Maybe I'll put that on the screen.
There you go.
On the YouTube video. Haven't done any graphics. Let me put a star real quick.
The more you know.
That's probably copyright infringement. Never mind. I'm not doing that shit.
Probably. So I do want to tell you this because I thought it was amusing and you would think it was amusing as well. When I was going down to Delaware from Ohio, it was so funny because I was moving a lesbian couple and we're going through Pennsylvania, and there's this huge sign that says no God, KNOW, no
Oh,
God,
what?
no God, like no as in to know God. And then it said no lesbians or no gays, no gays, and no Biden. And I was like, okay. And then I go down a little further, and there's this huge billboard with Biden dressed as like an Afghani soldier, and it says "Make the Taliban Great Again."
What? Oh,
And I was like, what the fuck? And then we get right to Delaware, and there's this huge billboard of Biden with a swastika on his forehead. And I was like, what the hell is going on here? So they are very anti Biden, anti gays, and you have to love God to like live in Pennsylvania, I guess.
apparently. I saw.
But I would
Oh, go
go
ahead.
ahead. I just thought it was funny. I was like, man, Steven would love this.
I saw in this group, somebody posted a screenshot of somebody else. There's this guy, I forget what his first name is, like Dustin Screwbiden, it was his name, and spelled Skrew Biden, like his last name was Screwbiden. And like this guy like goes on there and is talking about how I just spoke with the Lord. And he's like, and he told me that the Democrats, the liberals are terrorists, and that they're just evil, and he's gonna essentially smite them down. And he's essentially saying that, you know, being Republican is the righteous way, and that all liberals are fucking evil, and God has spoken onto him. And I'm just thinking about this, and I'm like, yes, I'm sure God was like, you know what? Out of all the people in the world, I'm going to talk to Joe Screwbiden. It's like, and the Lord set upon Joe Screwbiden, prophet Joe Screwbiden.
This is the book of
right.
Screw Biden.
Huh?
From the book of Joe Screw Biden.
From the
First Screw Biden, chapter 2, verse 7.
It's just got to be Screw Biden, because you know they only do the first or last names on those. Screw Biden 316.
That's funny.
Anyways, I'm not a big fan of Biden either, but holy crap.
Yeah. I was like, wow.
I just can't believe someone who has their name as Screw Biden as their last name is trying to say that the Lord spoke upon him. Is this what the prophets are like in 2021? Like, seriously?
We don't get burning bushes anymore. We get Screw Biden.
There's prophet Screw Biden. I have the apostle Trump 184. And of course, obviously, the prophet David Duke. For those that don't know, he's the leader of the KKK, or was at one time, Grand Master. Anyways,
crazy stuff.
Anyways, sorry. I would apologize for us getting political, but it's not the first fucking time. Let's be honest, okay? Sorry, all you people that hate the gays.
We love them. We fully support the gays.
We support the gays on this podcast. We do.
Yes. We believe that they deserve to be as miserable as the rest of us in a relationship.
Love who you want to love. Unless you're part of NAMBLA. Fuck those guys. So fuck NAMBLA, but we support the gays.
We do.
Not the same thing. People need to stop thinking that shit.
I completely agree with you. Well, I am gonna have to go
Oh,
because
I
I
mean,
need
we're pretty
sleep
much done anyways. We've been ranting for the last 15, 20 minutes, however long,
as usual.
as usual. Not surprising. But all
Yeah.
right, well, thank you for listening. Would you like to plug anything? Do you have any? Have you made any? Nope, nope. She did not. Let's just move along from here. You can find
I
me on.
promise soon.
Sure. She's been busy moving, guys.
I've been
Okay,
busy.
I'm not judging. You shouldn't judge. Stop judging. Hey, Judgy McJudgerson, don't be judging. You can find me, however, on Dragon Blazer Productions on the Facebooks, the Instagrams, the YouTubes, and you can find me on Twitter at Dragon Blazer Pro. Thank you for listening, and
One last thing.
oh, sorry.
Good night, Who Day 98.
Good. Oh. Oh wow, you just made his day. Drunk summer. Are you drunk though? You might have just ruined everything by being sober summer.
Nope.
Okay, slightly tipsy summer.
Yep.
Actually, based
No.
on this episode, she's definitely drunk summer. Anyways. So thank you for listening. Drunk Like Me, Dead Like Me rewatch. Salute.
Salute.
Clink, clink, clink. We're not
Clink,
we're
clink,
on a Zoom call. We can't really clink, but salute. Hey, if you like that video, please like and subscribe my production company, Dragon Blazer Productions. My name is Steven. You also might know me from the Rage and Blaze show as Blaze. So please like and subscribe.